ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Hello, welcome to Duran ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.
Hey Arlene, did you manage to sleep last night?
Not really. The sky was filled with fireworks and loud bangs. What's happening?
Well, I think it's the Phai Thai Kong, the celebration which is celebrated by the Hokkiens on the 9th day of Chinese New Year.
What is Phai Thai Kong?
So basically it means praying to heaven god. So they believe it is the birthday of the Jade Emperor or Tian Kong, who protected the ancestors of Hokkien people from ruthless army in ancient China.
Anyway, good to know. Let's talk about news.
Sure.
On ASEAN Daily, we'll bring you daily updates and commentaries on issues and events that are impacting this region. I'm your host, Arlene Tan.
And I'm Grace Cho. And today, Tuesday, 16th February 2016, we'll bring you the latest politics and current affair news from Southeast Asia.
Our top story today. According to Global Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, or short for HSBC, US-ASEAN Summit likely to be a win for global trade. In fact, the Sunnylands Summit could be a stepping stone for increased trade between the US and Southeast Asia.
Right. That's a pretty positive sign, isn't it? Especially when we need to boost more businesses and also amid a slowing global economy. This is also the first time the summit will be held in the US. President Obama is focused on his Asia pivot.
Yep. That's true. In fact, the HSBC senior trade economist, Doug Lippold, agrees to it. He said that improved cooperation between the US and ASEAN can generate win-win outcomes. For the US, it means tapping into economies that are growing at 2 times the pace of the US economy, which is ASEAN.
Yeah, that's correct. And he also added for ASEAN countries, it means reaching a large consumer base in the US that continues to increase spending as well as accessing a market that is an important source of inputs that help ASEAN countries increase their manufacturing competitiveness.
That's true. In fact, with China's slow exports, I think the US really need to boost its markets with Southeast Asia. ASEAN as a whole is a powerful economic bloc and could improve the two-way trade with the US. That is, if the leaders are able to translate the strategic partnership into concrete actions.
That's very important. And US has become an important global economic player. It is currently ranked 4th as an export destination and also import source for ASEAN as a bloc. So TPP, or Trans-Pacific Partnership, led by the US and featuring 11 other nations, which account for almost 40% of global output and also 25% of global export and goods and services.
That's a huge chunk of money and also opportunities. In fact, talking about that, the summit will be an opportunity for other ASEAN members to explore perhaps the possibility of eventually joining the TPP. As we all know right now, only 4 are in the Trans-Pacific Partnership right now.
Let's move on to the next news. The next one we will discuss about US-ASEAN Summit, and this time it is on conflict resolution in the Philippines. So Philippines leader will discuss the Bangsamoro peace deal in the US-ASEAN Summit, and President Aquino vows to share resolve to pass peace process in the country's war-torn Muslim South with ASEAN leaders.
But why it has become such a regional issue?
Well, that's because the Philippines Congress adjourned earlier this month for election campaigning without approving the Bangsamoro Basic Law, or BBL, before new Philippine leaders.
Oh, I see. That's true. The Bangsamoro Basic Law would have sealed a 2014 peace deal between the government and the country's one-time largest Moro rebel group, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. I don't want to say the acronym again. And all this brings to 17 years of peace negotiations in southern Mindanao Island to a close, hopefully.
Well, here I'm pretty old for President Bernardino Aquino III because it's due time for peace in the Mindanao. He said this is also the last time that I can share with my fellow ASEAN leaders our resolve to this peace process, and that is our contribution in responding to the issue of extremism and lack of stability.
He's definitely standing firm to his principles. He even shared that even though his Congress has failed to pass the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law, their position on the law is the same.
Right.
It is still the most appropriate path towards peace and development in Mindanao.
So the BBL would have created an autonomous Muslim region in the southern Philippines, ending the separatist conflict that has killed around 150,000 people.
That's true. But it's not only for peace, it's also for economic prosperity in the poverty-ridden Mindanao. He said that as the Bangsamoro matures, it shall serve as the gateway to trade, investment, and cultural exchange, igniting a virtuous cycle of security, development, and equitable progress for the people of the entire region. I couldn't agree more with President Aquino.
Right, that's correct. I mean, peace is very important, not just to the Bangsamoro, but also in the other parts of Southeast Asia. So our next news, we move on to Thailand.
A handful of Thai Buddhist monks scuffled with troops in Thailand yesterday during a protest against what they call state interference in religious affairs, a bid to overthrow the government body of their religion.
Right, television images showed troops and about thousands of front-clad, shaven-headed monks shoving each other after troops tried to keep the monks from entering the park. That's the Nakhon Pathom province west of Bangkok.
Interestingly, religion has become a proxy war since the color-coded politics that Thailand's junta has squashed when it took power in 2014.
Right. And monks in Thailand are now a new political elite.
Wow.
Yeah. A metaphor, this top post in Thai Buddhism has divided Thailand between supporters of the leading candidate, a 90-year-old abbot facing investigation for a tax scam involving luxury cars, and those who oppose him, of course.
Oh, wow. And this person, Somdek Pramaha Racha Mangala Chan, also for short known as Somdek Chuang, has ties to the wealthy Dhammakaya temple, which has been dogged by allegations of corruption for years.
So we're talking about another corruption there.
Yeah.
So according to the critics, they say the battles is an extension of a deep-rooted crisis involving scandals over lavish lifestyles, sexual impropriety, and drugs that have tarnished the reputation of the country's dominant religion.
Well, the thing you need to know is Buddhist nationalism has become the ideological backbone in Thailand. Some even have urged the government to declare Buddhism as Thailand's national religion.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar?
Exactly. Oops. But gosh, I thought it is only happening in Malaysia. Ta-da! But where Islam and Malay are used as political bait to divide and conquer.
Even in Buddhist majority countries, they are doing the same. But not all are, trapped into the cycle of political baits of divide and conquer. Activist monk Buddha Isara, who is leading the fight against Somdek Chuang, who the person earlier I mentioned being dwell in corruption. The activists say that they need to reform the Thai Buddhism because it has become rotten and lost its way.
So it's got a long way to have its own cleanse action when it comes to Buddhism and its corruption. And also critics say Thailand's military government must not endorse Somdek Chuang's nomination and should honor a pledge to stamp out the corrupt practices.
That's all from our ASEAN Daily today. Thanks for tuning in to the Durian ASEAN with Arlene Tan
and Grace Cho. For more updates on Southeast Asia, please tune in to our website at durianasean.com. If you're on the go, you can always download our TuneIn app on your mobile.
And please subscribe to our YouTube channels at Durian ASEAN and Durian ASEAN TV. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, Twitter and Instagram. We always welcome feedback from our listeners.
And stay tuned with the ASEAN Daily by tomorrow Wednesday, same time at 12 to 1 p.m. on GMT Plus 8. Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.